FM. The name, of course, Andre Donald. Who else? Yeah, who else does crazy stuff like this? It's 14 minutes and 45 seconds now, moving after the 11 o'clock hour. And do remember that I did tell you earlier in this morning that we'll be speaking to a football coach. Where is he? I don't know. He's there. He'll be able to tell you in a couple of minutes where he is. But he's got good news for Grenadian footballers. Yeah, he's got good news for Grenadian footballers, and it'll be something that you guys would really love to hear. And it all comes. I tell you what. I usually I speak to Andy Best almost every day, and then one day he pulled me up. He says, "Oh, I need your help again, Andre." I'm like, "What's that, Andy?" And he says, "We need to engage and keep that conversation about the footballers going." So I'm like, "Okay, fine, no problem." And then he slapped me with an interview that he thought I should do for him. And then he said to me, "You'll be speaking to Coach Mario." I'm like, "Where's Coach Mario?" He said, "When you speak to him, Andre, you'd find out." So let's bring up Coach Mario and say good morning. Let's bring him up and say good morning, Coach. How you doing this morning? How are you?
Hey, good morning, Andre. Thank you for having me on your show.
Hello. Uh,
Yes, I'm here.
okay, great. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on to the show. It's indeed my pleasure.
The pleasure is mine as well. Thank you for
So
having me.
all right. Okay, so tell me where are you located, Coach?
Right now, I'm in the state of Virginia in the USA, but our office is located in Florida, in the Orlando area.
All right. No, as you would have heard me saying that I did speak to Andy Best, and I'm sure you've been speaking to Andy for quite a lot in recent weeks and months. And Andy was telling me about the inter scouting event that you guys have planned again. What can you tell us about? Bring us up to speed with that.
Sure. So, thanks to a couple of sponsors, I am going to be coming into Grenada for a player evaluation event. This is an international event, meaning that I will be coming for 3 days to do a evaluation on players who showed the potential for a higher level opportunities outside of Grenada.
Okay. Now, this is the second time that you guys have done this, correct?
Well, this is my first time going to Grenada,
Oh, okay.
but I've done many other events throughout South America and Europe, and here in the US as well.
All right. Why did you select Grenada this time, Coach?
Well, I was invited. I have a good friend who lives in the island. I met him here in Virginia. He always talk very good things about the level there, the people, the culture. So he said that I should come down and run an event and see the talent.
Okay. And what would you be looking for? That's the big question. What would you be looking for when you come to Grenada? Well, we've got good food, so I can tell you we have that for you. But what else would you be looking for?
Well, that was the first thing, food. But typically, when I go overseas, when I go overseas, because of football, I go in search of talent. I look for in the players. I look for technical abilities. I look for the tactical understanding, of course, depending on their age groups. And the last thing, of course, the physical aspects. But most importantly for me is I like to see the culture. Culture is a huge part of football. And also, it helps me see where these players could fit the best if there are any opportunities that we can provide them.
And this time around, you'll be looking for both female and male. And what is the age range are you looking at?
Right. For this time, for the first time, we're gonna focus on the male players, but of course, we have plans to hopefully return the future and do a session for the female talent. Age groups right now, we're looking at ages 15 through 18 and 18 through 21. That's the plan for now.
This group you said is 15 to 18 and then 18 to 21, correct? Is that what you said? I'm trying to figure. I had a short glitch there.
Correct. 15 through 18 and 18 through 21, 22, let's say.
Okay. Now, these youngsters, if they get selected, what are they looking forward to? What are you exposing them to?
Sure, we have opportunities for player development. To reach the higher level, players have to be developed. They have to be in a training environment where they are able to grow. They are able to test themselves against other high level players, and then, of course, depending on their performance, there could be potentially more opportunities, such as professional tryouts, professional camps. But of course, I don't want to get ahead of myself. First, I need to see the players, see the culture, experience your football, and then of course from there, we will talk to with the sponsors, and we'll provide more details to the selected players after the event.
All right. Now, one of the big things would have to be um, how this is done, and parents letting a 15 to 18 or even a 18 to 21, 22 go off. They need to be reassured that, hey, this is something positive. This is something that my son can build a future on. How are you going to reassure them of that?
Sure. I mean, when they are underage, of course, we have to have the discussion with the parents. We'll have a plan. We create an itinerary. When it comes to the living situation, we make arrangements for the players to be in all together in a safe place. When it comes to transportation, logistics is all done. But of course, we will have that conversation individually with the player and the parents, and then it's their decision. If they feel comfortable, they feel that this is something they're gonna benefit the player or their child for the long term, then do it. If not, then we move on and we continue searching
Yeah.
for players.
Will you be in direct contact with all these? If you were to select, let's say, five players out of Grenada, will you, for their tenure, would you always be in contact with them, understanding that you are the first person who would have made contact with them?
Yes, of course. When it comes to these type of events, when I select the players, I travel with the players, I live with the players, I do most of the management as well, meaning that I make sure they're okay, they're safe, make sure that they have everything they need while they're training with the teams or going through the camps. So I'll be the first person of contact, but also the last, to make sure that everything goes right. I have a team of assistants as well that work with me, but when it's an international type of event, I'll take care of it myself.
All right, let's look at simply this. A player suffers a twisted ankle or a twisted knee somewhat. Knock on wood, that does not happen at all. But how can you reassure a player who is listening right now that he will be taken care of to the best of the ability that you guys have?
Right now, of course, that comes with insurance. There's insurance policies that you could purchase, which will cover medical expenses, and you can obtain those through a travel agency. We also have agreements with physio clinics. Of course, we're not expecting major injuries, but if a player needs treatment, we have at the location that we travel, we do have physio clinics that will take care of the player. That's not a problem.
How important is discipline? as it relates to this particular program or all other programs that you're involved in, how important is discipline? And when I say discipline, I'm not talking yes sir, no sir, that sort of thing, but discipline as it relates to every single aspect of this program.
Right. I mean, that is one of, the basis of success in the sport. If you don't have discipline in your personal life, it's going to be very difficult to make into a professional environment when it comes to sporting, because being a professional football player takes a lot of discipline on and off the field. As the important thing for us when we take players abroad for these camps is we really get to see them at a personal level. For me, like I said, culture is very important, but also individually getting to know the player's mentality, their vision of themselves, and how they act, how they approach training, how they approach the way they feed themselves, how they approach resting time. That's discipline, and a lot of times if that part is not well developed on a player, that's going to be a bit more difficult to promote a player or for him to be successful.
You're talking to a parent now. A parent is listening, and that parent is hearing this and they're very excited. Convince them, though, that this is the best thing for their child.
Well, convincing, I guess, like I said, I've done this for many years. It is important to me to meet the player. Many times I meet the parents, I talk to the parents. So it's more than convincing, is having a conversation, where I also have to be comfortable with the player. This is not for everyone. It's not for every player, or for every parent that think that the player should have this experience. It is more for, it's got to be both ways. I have to be confident and comfortable. This is the right player, with, if they're underage, with the right parents, with the right mentality. And of course, if the parents connect with me and they feel that this is a good opportunity, and at the end of the day, they will have to trust me. Then we'll move forward. If not, then, like I said, we will always move on, and there will always be other opportunities.
And that player who's listening to you now, you don't want to convince him because he believes that, hey, I deserve the opportunity. What are you going to say to him?
Well, deserving is one thing, and working for it is a different situation. So I would say, come with a mentality that this is, you come to earn the spot. It's not something that you're gonna just be given to you. Fortunately, the most difficult things in life, the best things in life, are always difficult. So I would say, come with an open mind, come to the training sessions ready to work and show your best. And then from there, we'll see what level. Like I said, the mentality is important, and then we'll have a discussion at the end of the event.
All right, coach, here's my big question for you, my final question for you this morning, coach. Now give us two names of great players that you've come in contact with, coach. Put some, let's see what's on your resume here.
Okay, so I focus on the scouting part. So for me, I work with like I said, with the young players. So a lot of our players end up in academies, end up playing on lower division teams. So personally, I don't work with big names. I'm not a part of a super agency. But like I said, we are here to promote young talent.
Okay, great. Coach, would you believe, just as we're about to wrap up here, Andy has joined us. So let's bring Andy up and say good morning. Hi, Andy. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Good morning, Andre.
Andy's having a laugh there. You're doing fine. You want to say good morning to Coach also?
Yes, good morning, Marion. How are you doing today?
Hey, very good. Good morning.
Thanks for
All
thanks for
right. So
locking in
Andy,
today.
we're just about. Okay, yeah, we are just about wrapping up, Andy. But I want you, as you're here, to tell listeners, the parents, and of course the youngsters themselves, where you won them and when you won them based on when Mario is coming in?
Uh, More than likely, it will be one of the venues in St. George's. We have not finalized it as yet, but as we do get the information, we will disseminate it to the public and let them know the time, the place, and everything like that.
All right. Now, the other thing is, do you have the Grenada Football Association fully on board with this, Andy?
Yes, yes, indeed. I can't remember if I had sent you the logo. So there's a logo that has all the uh, the different organization that is going to be spearheading this, and GFA is part of it. Um, Alianjo, who should have been on, has already spoken with Marlon Glenn concerning that, and they have already pledged that they're going to take care of I think the accommodation and the venue and the transportation and everything like that. So they are with us on this activity.
All right, great to hear. Well, I did promise Mario that we'll have some good food for him, Andy. So I'm leaving that in your hands, okay?
Yes, we definitely will have some good, some what we call it grub, some good grub for him. You
So,
remember that
so, so
name?
Mario, you see, yes, of course, grub. Mario, you see, I've taken care of that grub for you, okay?
Excellent, excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
Well, looking forward to meet up with you live, Mario, when you get in, and we probably would have another conversation. But gotta run, gotta skip out of here. Andy, thanks again for making that link. And you know you can depend on us here at Real FM to always do our best in relation to assisting the organizations that you are affiliated to.
Much appreciated. Thanks again.
Ma-
And nice
Mario,
having
take care of
you.
yourself. Yeah, yeah. Mario, take care of yourself, and we'll catch up again.
Sounds good. Thank you. See you soon.
Okay, see you soon. Take care. Thanks, guys. Bye bye now. It's
Bye-bye.
real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.realfmgrenada.com. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Caribbean. Good morning to the entire world. Coming up in a short, we've got